video about a guy named Liver King. Big fat liar. Now he's manic and in a psychotic state, or something is going on terrible. Basically, the story is he started saying he was gonna eat Primal and that he didn't do steroids and he got really jacked. And then it turns out he did do a lot of steroids, and he is the epitome of generally what the fitness influencer market is made of.
Yes, I've done steroids.
It's a market that I am a fan of. I watch a lot of fitness videos. I don't work out that much anymore. I don't have a lot of time, but it's been something that I've always loved doing. I like being in relative shape. I've never bulked or anything like that, but I'm strong and I can do things, right? Where's my grip tester? All right, here we go. Here goes nothing. New record. What we're talking about today is the memes around trend and working out and fitness and all this stuff, the influencer space. It's huge. It's huge, all right?
You know what I want? A slice of trenbolone sandwich.
And Gen Z has role models that I didn't have when I was a young age and very impressionable from fitness influencers. I had Z's and like Arnold and Frankie Calhoun, big influencer back there. The Hodge twins, before they decided to be political pundits. Get out of bushes, man, stab them. Old school stuff, right?
We don't want little chicken wings here.
I just assumed all these people were on steroids, which they definitely were, and that they were just lying about it, which they definitely were. Of course, if they didn't just say that they weren't on steroids. The point is, that stigma doesn't really exist as much as it used to. People like Myco Trend still lie.
Now understand that they're just saying that I do steroids, and that's their interpretation of it.
But there are people who have an anabolic steroid in their names. For example, the Trend Twins. That's who we're gonna be talking about a little bit today, all right?
So yeah, we're gonna be getting anabolic in the home gym today. What the fuck? Mike sleeps in here sometimes.
I think these guys are pretty awesome, but I also think that this is a really insane lifestyle that is going to probably contribute to a lot of people's deaths, their early deaths or ruining of their lives. And that's just being honest. Obviously, people can make their own decisions, but as far as influencers go, actually having influence, I feel like the fitness influencers genuinely have a lot of influence. And it's really easy to go from bettering your life and being extremely healthy to potentially ruining your life because you're 16 years old and you're an idiot and you're not listening to the things people are saying and you're just trying to achieve this vain, short-sighted thing that is not really that important. But at the end of the day, obviously you can do whatever you want. It's important to note, it seems like the Trend Twins also believe that.
It's all fun and games until you gotta pay taxes.
Unfortunately, many of the taxes you're gonna have to pay would be a decrease in testicle size, acne, gynecomastia, possible heart attack, and so on. Lots of negatives.
It's people like the Trend Twins, it's people like Sam Sulek who are going so hard and so fast that I can't imagine it's having that positive of an effect on the people who are trying to live like them. People got a lot of body image issues anyways, men, women, everybody, and just all the stuff is just rotten, and it can rot the brain in a way that's difficult to really pinpoint until you're you're too far gone. That's what the right is.
Studies suggest that trenbolone may affect several key neurotransmitters, including dopamine, serotonin, and GABA. Trenbolone has been shown to increase dopamine release and reducing serotonin levels in the brain, which could contribute to its effect on mood, anxiety, and aggression.
What if I told you that you could get a magical liquid and consume it and it would enhance your body and make you unimaginably strong? What if I told you that? What if I told you that this liquid is more common than ever, and if you take this liquid, you can become an influencer and live the lifestyle of the rich and famous playboy?
Some hypertrophy next. Blow us right up, blow us up like balloons. Oh yeah.
I'd say sign me up. I'm chugging that shit down like a chug jug in Fortnite. That magical liquid exists and it's called Tren. The full name is trenbolone, all right, like bologna. Trenbolone acetate, all right, that's the full name. It is an anabolic steroid that is extremely common amongst content creators.
Although Tren is currently one of the most popular anabolic steroids today, it's been used by bodybuilders and other strength athletes since the early 80s, but was known then primarily by its other names, such as Finajet and Finaplex.
Some people are very upfront and honest about their usage of it, like the Trend Twins. It's in their name, and others are not.
And number one, I don't do it. And number two, what I want you to say is, you know what, I don't know.
If you see someone making money from fitness, this is my rule. If I see someone making money from fitness and it is possible to get an edge and, you know, it will help make you make more money or perform better, you're going to take that edge, right? Why the wouldn't you? So most everybody is on steroids in some sense. Nate Diaz was right when he said, "Am I on you?" Or whatever he said. I don't know. That's not a good impression of him, but he's hard to understand.
Everybody's on steroids.
The reason we're talking a bit more about the Tren twins is because these guys have amassed a very large following consisting of young, moldable teenagers. And this topic of a video is a topic that has been requested a plethora of times. People often ask me to talk about fitness-related stuff because of my zeal and the fact that I am a superlative, I mog, etc. Those are all not true. Those are all fake. That's all lies. I just lied right to all y'all's faces. I'm sorry about that. I'm weak. I'm really weak. I watch a good bit of fitness content. I love Jujimufu. Also about as natty as a microwave. That's his own quote. Tren twins, I watch occasionally. I don't ever on purpose watch their videos or anything like that because I feel like they market to a much younger audience of douchebags.
I need this in my mouth. Y'all know there's coochie water in here. I mean, coconut water. It'll hydrate the hell out of you, boy.
Sam Sulek, I love Sam Sulek. And his brother, both of those people are very articulate, thoughtful individuals, funny individuals.
How was the squeeze on that one? How was the squeeze on that one?
Yeah, squeeze was crazy.
Yeah, squeeze is crazy, all right.
Who are, you know, on the same path as the Tren twins, but maybe the opposite. Like you have the two castles, that meme where the two castles, you got the light one and the dark one. You know, it's Sam Sulek and then the Tren twins. I find this extremely morbidly interesting. The chances of these guys dying from their lifestyles, very high. It's not crazy to say that.
What are the things that for you are like off the table with regards to this is too much, this is too risky for me?
The biggest one is like tread. That's probably the most toxic thing you can put in your body.
The chances of these guys dying from their lifestyles are very high, much higher than me dying from my lifestyle. And same with Sam, okay? So who exactly are the Tren twins? Well, their names are Mike and Chris Gaiara. They are so Italian that it is mind-boggling.
We're over at the grandparents' house visiting Fulton, Indiana. We're in the middle of fuck all.
I can smell a fellow Italiano, all right, guys? My mother's surname was Mangini, all right? The family hailed from Calabria, Sicily.
I swear to God, Johnny, I've had it up to... Here with your BS.
Ooh, he's really had it this time.
These guys are biological brothers and possibly twins. They're only 23 years old. They look to be pushing their mid-40s. They look old. They've aged heavily. This was a couple years ago, and this is them now. This is me a couple years ago, and this is me now. This is a different type of workout channel. It's more of a lifestyle vlog channel. They admit that they're on Tren, aka trenbolone, acetate, and anabolic steroid.
Little about the process of taking steroids, bro. It is so scary. The shit that you think you're getting, bro, like it's all watered down since the 70s. This shit is not pharma grade anymore.
Another thing, what you're buying, what you actually have, very often, it's not what it says on the label.
Very interesting thing to do. Hey, is this legal in your jurisdiction? Probably not. Well, guess what? My entire brand is built around it. I don't understand how you can even get a brand deal. How can you be brand safe if you're just like the Tren guys? That's like being a recreational drug user and being named Heroin Harold or something. Very similar risks involved in both heroin and Tren. Point is, it's difficult to use both of them effectively. I'd rather do Tren though. Their content is interesting. It is dedicated to workout routines and lifting insane ballistic weights. These guys are animals, regardless of steroids, whatever anabolic steroids. Their genetics are incredible. They are ballistically strong, little short guys, little chunklets, little manlets. I'm 99% sure as well that their content is dedicated towards a younger audience, probably teenagers. They are the most impressionable people who do watch this type of content.
We tried recording this video like 5 different times already. Also considering that a lot of our followers are younger, it's like you have to dance around the subject, but honestly, I'm gonna let loose and just be honest with you. Let me tell you, bro, if you're gonna take steroids, you better have some insane patience, because me and Mikey do not, and we just rage.
I have zero patience.
I mean, look at this. The energy is just, it's hard to keep up with. I'm 28 and I feel like I'm like, what? Can you repeat that for me? Slow down, repeat that for me. Can you repeat that? Trenbolone? What's that? Sandwich? More evidence that they make content probably for teenagers is that they have a video titled Mogging at Planet Fitness, where they both bench 5 plates on each side at Planet Fitness, which is very illegal in the Planet Fitness community. It's extreme. It's a crime. It's the highest of all crimes. It is punishable by death. All right, on that planet. Planet Fitness. I hate Planet Fitness. I think Planet Fitness is lame. Also, mogging. I love the word MOG, or the acronym, I guess. I think it stands for like alpha male group or some shit. I don't know. It stands for something. These twins, if that's what they actually are, got popular from their small vlogs of them lifting at the gym, which involves them doing their normal gym activities while also roid raging at each other.
That shit's gonna roll off. I can kill move. Shut up.
Sometimes it's a bit, but sometimes they actually beat the shit out of each other on camera. It's fucked up, dude. These guys are psychotic. I mean, I get it, I guess. It's very 80s. They give me very 80s vibes. I feel like this is just how people were about 15 years before I was born. Just crazy. Beat the shit at each other, have fun. Everyone was jacked and really Italian looking. These are two short kings with a lot of rage, and they see red like I do when I see a lone nerd rope unguarded on the kitchen floor. That's a joke, guys. You can laugh at that if you'd like, or you could unsubscribe and, you know, never watch my videos ever again and see your way out. By the way, Sour.gg is a candy company that I got, and it's a great pre-gym snack, to be honest. It's just like pure sugar. We got natural dyes, natural flavors. We come out with a new flavor every single week. And yeah, it's like really simple. Use code TREND for 20% off your order. Yeah, we get a lot of cool flavors. It's great. I'll make the code right now. Okay, it's trend with 2 ends. All right, it's trend with 2 ends. Okay, yeah, it's trend with 2 ends. They just kind of fuck around, right? It's content. They're on trend. They're endangering themselves. They're putting their audience in danger by influencing them to do the same insane, stupid shit that they do. It's very entertaining. I completely get it. There's a lot of controversy that surrounds it, and I really don't know how much I buy into it. A lot of people are like, well, you suck. You're lame. You don't like having fun. You don't even drink alcohol. You're not even a binge drinker like I am. Yeah, that's true. I'm not. And really, I don't care. I mean, people can do whatever the f they want. I think drugs should be legal. I think trend should be legal. I think you should be able to buy it. I feel like if there was more science behind it and your inspiration for getting on performance enhancing drugs or something that can change your physicality, if the influence and inspiration from that didn't come from goobers like the Trend Twins, the world probably would be a better place. But this is where that all stems from. So it's like, it's important to look at. And you know, if I've got audience members, which I do, who are yoked and shredded and they want to get big and stuff, I wouldn't be inspired too much by these guys. You know, they're fun, they're cool, okay, yeah, sure. But like, follow Mike Israetel or some doctor with like real experience.
Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization, and today's video is about the 5 rules of how to train while in a fat loss plan.
Follow the Liver King. I'm just kidding. Oh my God. Liver King. These guys are like the Liver King if the Liver King was from New Jersey. All right. These fellers call themselves the Trend Twins, and that is a point of controversy. Obviously, it's like Heroin Harold. I mean, that's the example.
Being this young and taking random drugs and random dosing schedules is exactly as chaotic as it sounds. That.
And these twins, as you can tell by their name, share often the fact that they are not completely natural.
The bottom line with steroids is they do work and they do come with side effects. The level of both of those depends on your genetics. It's just a science experiment.
They are in fact on trend. They're on trend, and that's what makes them controversial.
Speaking of gear, we got a new cycle. It gets to a certain point where it's actually toxic for your body and it's preventing you from actually getting better. 210 milligrams of test, 20 milligrams of Anavar, 2 IUs of growth. You can see how that affects us.
That, their name, etc., and their audience also being younger is where the problem, if you see it as that, comes in. Part of that problem is that this physique cannot be obtained naturally, nor can this physique or this physique. The big difference, though, is that these people have lied, and the Trend Twins don't lie, but they still have that carrot out there, that carrot at the end of the stick that you've got to learn. You got to experiment on yourself. You have to literally be a human being science experiment to be able to get to this level and potentially endanger yourself exogenously introducing steroids and other hormones into your body. I mean, it can f you up. Look, there's so many studies. It's really bad. All of these people, Trend Twins included, in spite of their honesty, are setting very unrealistic expectations and standards for young people. And I'm not trying to be like sensitive, overly sensitive. It's just true. It is true. Setting unrealistic expectations, it's important to acknowledge that. It's not, I don't think it needs to be shut down or destroyed or whatever, but it's like, this is not realistic. Even if you probably get on steroids and worked out extremely consistently, you wouldn't look like this. You have bad genetics. Most people have bad genetics and look like shit, or you can't gain weight or you can maintain weight. Also, if you do this and you are inconsistent, you will literally ruin your endocrine system for the rest of your life. So like, there's a lot of risk. It's a matrix of risk. If I had a child that was watching these people, I would implore them to not do that and not be influenced by these goobers. There's also quite a few people who have turned on Sam Sulek, another lifting creator if you don't know, and these guys are totally different. It just really boils down into the sort of body positivity and sort of men's mental health image. Either A, you're really upset and you're told you're lame because you're a man, or B, you're really upset because the only way you can be a man you have these role models who are manly, like the Trend Twins or Sam Sulek or Arnold Schwarzenegger or whoever, is by looking like them and acting like them. But the only way that they do what they do is because they're on steroids. So it's like, there's not really a reasonable option out there. And that's what I find personally frustrating. And if there's a little nugget of actual value to come out of any of my videos, this one specifically, that would be that nugget, is that there's not that many role models who aren't either A, liars, B, pieces of shit behind the camera, or C, so inconsistent and hypocritical that it makes it impossible for you to really consider what they're saying for longer than a few months at a time. I feel like that's probably where I fit in, but it's because I change my mind a lot. I like to pretend, at least. And I learn and I grow and I keep things open. Aside from that, people also complain about their toxic masculinity, but I don't really give a f about all that stuff. I don't really know anything about toxic masculinity. I feel like they're just being assholes. I've seen toxic femininity lauded and rewarded heavily in mainstream movies and film, and like just like pride being a massive sin, but like it's cool because girls are proud now. I don't know. There's a lot of toxicity amongst just human beings in general, I've come to realize. The concern doesn't just come from the audience or just like random commentary YouTubers like myself. The concern also comes from within the fitness community. Greg Doucette, friend of the show, I don't know, he made a video reacting to a video that I made, and I love his voice. He's like, he's so annoying. I mean, I love him, but he's so annoying. His voice is it's a hard listen, to be honest.
So they're not making this video to promote steroids. They want to promote awareness. They don't want to lie. They want to be open and honest.
Greg Doucette warned them about taking substances because after one competition, which the Trend Twins did, you'll probably want to take even more because it's like a game. You have to continue to improve. You have to infinitely grow or you're failing, and people don't like to fail, so why would you not take more when it's awesome when you do?
And so the problem with being a competitive bodybuilder is there are no limits. Take whatever you want. And the bigger the bodies, the more likely they are to win. And so with bigger bodies come bigger doses. And so the temptation to take even more than last time. You perhaps enter your first competition, not taking too much. Next competition, you've got to take more. You want to get bigger. And it keeps continuing like this until you're an IFBB pro, taking everything you could possibly take.
Even with the warning from the sage prophet Greg Doucette, they did not listen. The boys did not listen. They're on the grind, of course. Why the f should they back down when they're at their peak? Well, at their peak came disaster, all right? This is another worry with this type of stuff. Something that will most likely f one of these boys up for the rest of their life was uploaded in video on October 4th, 2024, where Mike goes for a big weight and personal record, 600 pounds, and then boom, his pec muscle, boom, pops out of place almost immediately.
How you feeling, man? Mike. I feel like shit. I just want some crumble cookies right now.
Not sure if we can show it, but it doesn't look super bad. It is disgusting though. Muscles ripping and shit. A lot of people, it happens to people who aren't on steroids, but anabolic steroids, the ratio in which your skeletal tissue, your muscle tissue increases and gets stronger, and your nervous tissue increases in density, it's faster than your ligaments and tendons. They don't harden and strengthen as quickly as your muscles do. So you get imbalanced and you can rip your pec off of your body. You can see his pecs snap and disappear under his shirts. Oh! He then sits down in the video and says, with a good surgeon and the right meds, he'll be back to lifting in no time.
Modern medicine, peptides and shit, and a good surgeon, I'll be back to lifting.
I don't know about all that. That seems like, how are you supposed to reattach your pec? How'd that even work? How do you even do that? Oh! Oh! I'm thinking about it right now. Oh! Oh! Hey, bitch. Dumbass, shut up. I'm gonna give you trim. This guy's not gonna let this stop him from his passion. Greg Doucette then, in a dramatic video, pretty much says, I told you so.
Hate to be the one that says this, but I have been warning the Tren twins, warning everyone that it's very risky to go for 1 rep maxes in the gym, especially when using performance-enhancing drugs.
He states that they could have avoided this entire issue by just not abusing any performance-enhancing drugs. I agree 100%. If you're abusing any drug, even ones for performance, and you're not making money from it, you're fooling yourself. You're kidding yourself. The allegory of Plato's cave is so true, bro. You might think you're on the grind. No, you're creating a prison of your own making, all right? And you're living in it, and you will have to face the consequences of it for the rest of your life, all right? Because your balls will shrivel up and your endocrine system will die. In a later video, on October 14th, 2024, Mike talks about what his doctor told him. He states that he doesn't need surgery, but if he doesn't want any imbalances, he should probably get it.
Yeah, the surgeon said I don't need surgery, but if I don't want any imbalances and shit, then I gotta get surgery.
Apparently, the tendon is still connected. However, they have to re-stitch the muscle back to the tendon using Kevlar fibers, which is making I'm rooting because of this. I feel weird because of thinking about that.
And the tendon is still connected. There's still some muscle there too. They gotta re-stitch the muscle to the tendon. So they're gonna do that with Kevlar fibers.
He then states he's technically bulletproof, which is spaced. Cool, yeah, Kevlar, yep, exactly.
So basically I'm becoming the Winter Soldier. I'm gonna have a Kevlar chest, and that's what they put in bulletproof vests. So technically my chest will be fucking bulletproof.
Later in the video, he gives some more details stating his chest feels out of place and his muscles are all bunched up and the surgery will be an hour long.
Feels like something's out of place. It's all bunched up. I don't think it went under that much. It's only an hour-long surgery. I got beat-off sessions longer than that.
That all sounds horrible and terrible, and I do not want to ever do that. He also tries to look on the bright side, hoping that the break will bring back the drive for working out that he hasn't had in a while.
Back like we never left. I don't think we really did.
I think this break will be good for me. Maybe it'll bring back that love, that drive that I had.
It's all right, guys. He's not giving up working out. He's just focusing on other areas like his legs, bicep, where he can, etc. His quad, bicep, etc., etc. Just staying away from the pectoralis, minor, major, Mahindra. Tren got to my bra's head, all right, guys, and made him push the limits, and he hurt himself, and it resulted in an awful injury that could completely ruin his life and his gym career. Not to mention, let's say if someone watching his videos decided to do the exact same thing, push themselves too far. I'm on Tren, I gotta bench 600. Oh! You know, they've got muscle in their brain where they're supposed to be fat. They tear their pec, they can't work. Their lives are ruined. They don't have health insurance. Their lives are ruined because they're stupid. It's kind of a common injury for people who are on steroids and lifting way more weight than they're supposed to be naturally as a human being. For example, the Mountain, aka Hafthor Bjornsson, strained his pec while lifting. Disgusting video. Very, very, very terrifying. And the injury put him out of the game for quite a while, but it seems he's back to lifting, just staying away from crazy benches and deadlifting world record amounts. Also on steroids, by the way. Now, I will talk about how Tren is more damaging than just making you stupid and try things, giving you confidence that makes you try things to hurt yourself. The chemical itself can be quite damaging. The twins of Tren have built their entire careers on lifting heavy weights and using Tren, and with the recent tear of Mike's pectoral muscle, we're starting to see the beginning of the end, in my opinion, for them. The fun is coming to an end. They're going to have to grow up and become adults at some point, even though I think they're like 36 or something like that. Oh no, they look a little older than they are, I think. That's my bad. These fellas have been roiding it up for quite a while, and at a certain point, there's a peak to your steroid use, and you can only grow so much. There's only so much that's physically possible without just truly abusing your body to the point where you will have a massively shortened lifespan and you'll die of an enlarged heart or, you know, something that happens to a lot of people who are like the Tren twins and Sam Sulek and all these people. Their hearts explode in their chests. Luckily, we've got evidence to back this up. The University of Southern California conducted a study with the purpose of assessing the early effects of a potent anabolic androgen on muscle mass, strength, lower extremity power, and functional performance in older men. Now, the Tren twins are decades away from the test group's age, but I still think there is some great information to glean and learn from the study. The study's results showed that most strength and muscle gains occurred within the first 6 weeks of the steroid use. And then after that point, there were diminishing returns. For example, research on oxandrolone showed that 90% of muscle and strength gains occurred within the first 6 weeks, with only a marginal increase during the next 6 weeks. Similar findings were observed with testosterone enanthate, where the peak in muscle growth was reached by week 3, after which the gains leveled off. The Tren twins had been using Tren for longer than 6 weeks. Meaning that there's a high possibility that they plateaued long ago, unless obviously they're abusing other performance-enhancing drugs like growth hormones and more different types of steroids. Also, they aren't old men, so it's different there, and probably their levels of application are substantially higher than these ancient men in the Southern California study. But the point is you have to stay on it the whole time, and you have to work out just as hard, and it only makes you look like you're on steroids. It doesn't make you look like, insanely good. If your genetics are bad and you're on steroids, you're still gonna look like shit. So it's just not worth it, really is the point. Also, it's not healthy. So why the would you even work out to do that? What's your goal? Just to look weird and die young? I wanna win an award! All right, I wanna enjoy my life. So the Tren twins and their cycles and the diminishing returns remind me of a phenomenon that occurs mainly with gaming channels. If you want to get extremely specific, we can talk about Minecraft and Call of Duty channels, where the YouTuber will either continue to play the same game they got famous for playing for years and years despite major drops in viewership, or they switch games and lose their core audience. They have to pivot. The struggle to move off of the game that made them famous is too much, and they would rather sink with the ship than try to change content to remain relevant. A great example of this is Rooster Teeth and Sea Nanners. The downfall of Rooster Teeth is multifaceted, but a big contributor is the unwillingness to switch content in the fear of alienating your core audience. Ironically, alienating your core audience over a longer period of time in more fundamentally hysterical ways. That's what Rooster Teeth did. I believe this phenomena is occurring with the Tren twins right now, especially with the recent tear of Mike's pec. Things are going to change for them. They have to, because if they don't, it's over. If Mike stopped working out entirely to heal his injury in a responsible way, their viewership would tank, obviously. It would completely go against their brand, and it just shows the dangers of Tren and anabolic steroids. Of course, one of the Tren twins is out and probably will not ever be the same again because of Tren. Of course! Wait till you see what happens in the next episode. I do have to give them credit. They are honest sometimes about their use of Tren, people shouldn't do it. People shouldn't fucking do Tren or whatever. But then they say, being on Tren is 10 out of 10.
What is your experience with tests right now, 1 through 10?
I'd say it's been a 10 out of 10, not including the last week of high estrogen.
And they kind of gloss over how serious the side effects of being on an anabolic steroid actually are. They've even promoted a company on their channel that specializes in blood work for using steroids and recommending steroids because they have so many young fans asking where to get steroids, dude. It's insane.
Gary came, did our blood work before we hopped on more. They literally came to the house. As the Tren twins, I get so many DMs of people asking me, like 14-year-old kids asking where to get Tren, bro. It is actually like a whole nother world. So yeah, this video is not to promote steroids, it's to promote the awareness of what they do. So if you do want to take it to the next level, you gotta get your blood works done, just like you gotta get your oil done in your fucking car.
I'd say those DMs alone are enough proof to them that their videos are promoting very harmful practice genuinely, and by sugarcoating the side effects to their young and impressionable audience, they're inadvertently getting teenagers just on steroids and potentially ruining lives. If you want to go down the young people abusing things rabbit hole, look up SARMs. SARMs are massively abused by young people, and they're very dangerous. All this stuff is so dangerous, you can't get pharmaceutical grade substances, generally speaking, unless you're really smart, which most of these people, let's be real, not smart. These are not smart people. These people are putting themselves in massive danger. And because of the Tren twins, there's a lot of young people, impressionable people who are influenced by them, putting themselves in massive amounts of danger. I mean, there is evidence that people who watch these channels do just go, steroids. Even though the Tren twins have a video called Don't Take Anabolic Steroids. Ironic, really.
We're going to a new gym today. We gotta show up looking and feeling our best.
In this video, they talk about how bad the side effects are, but they never go into great details about how bad the side effects actually are.
The bottom line with steroids is they do work and they do come with side effects. The level of both of those depends on your genetics. It's just a science experiment.
They're really bad. If you want to know how bad they are, watch Mike Israel's videos. He talks about the actual bad. He's roided up. He's got a damn hole in the back of his head. I assume it's a muscle hole. It's like the Yucatan Peninsula in his noggin because he got so much meat on his head. The Tren twins also discuss how you should only use steroids if you have good genetics or you want to go to the next level.
99.9% of people should not take steroids because you don't know what you're doing. You don't have the money for it. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time because you're not gonna stick with it.
Which is, I feel like, not a very intelligent thing to say you should only use steroids if you want to go to the next level. Not really. I mean, next level relative to what? 1 foot in the grave? All right, that's like saying, it's like, dude, weed's good, but like, if you want to get to the next level, if you really want to chase that dragon, you really want to get high, there's more. Goes deeper. Same thing. No, it's not the same thing. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. It's not the same thing, obviously, but it's similar. You gotta admit it's a little bit similar, all right? That video came out about 3 months ago, sits at around 500,000 views. It's good to see that they're at least becoming more aware of their audience and encouraging them to do some level of research, but at the same time, the video is ineffective. These are not orators. These are just people who scream. These are two short kings who yell and scream and hurt themselves and are on trend and seem like good dudes overall, but man, it's just like, it's unfortunate how much potential bad this is propagating and people just don't really know it. Also, that video is one of their worst performing videos after a few weeks to a month. Generally, their videos sit at around 700,000 to 1 million views. Their channel does extremely well. It seems like people watch these guys because they are on steroids. That's what people, they like their roid rage moments.
Bro, what? You know what? I shouldn't. My bad.
You're a idiot. I was about to cut and you put your hand right there. How's that my fault?
Hey! Calm the down.
They don't want them to speak reasonably about steroids to their audience. They don't want to hear them talk about the dangers of steroids. They want to hear these guys who got famous and rich from using steroids talk about how awesome steroids are. These fellas are at a tough spot right now because if Mike stopped working out once again to be responsible and let himself heal and he stopped his cycle, he would fully expose the dangers of steroids, and their views, I assume, would tank massively. Their supplement company would tank massively, which is so funny. They sell supplements. Like, I don't understand how anyone who is like, how can you sell like, how are you selling it? It tastes good and it gives me energy. You'll be more like me.
Right here. You gotta show up looking juicy for all the moms.
No, bro. To be more like you gotta be on trend. Okay, you can't eat hot rice and that makes you more like you. Okay, you can't eat feral supplements or whatever the It's so weird. Such a strange industry, the fitness or influencing industry out there, I tell you what. The whole masculine aura that has surrounded their content for years would be gone in an instant if they hopped off this. It's an endless feedback loop of just more and more idiocy and more insanity, and you gotta keep chunking it up, and then yeah, it's gonna end poorly. A lot of things end poorly with social media, it seems like. So anyways, I've been talking about Tren and mentioning steroids. I even talked about SARMs a little bit. Let's really look at what the side effects of taking steroids are and see why the Tren twins haven't been completely honest with their audience. First off, medically speaking, trenbolone acetate is considered to be generally a veterinary medicine for livestock, as a lot of medicines are, because it's easier for the prescription of live. It doesn't mean it's for livestock. It's not horse and whatever the It's still an anabolic steroid that works in mammals. But the original intended use of trenbolone acetate was by farmers and veterinarians looking to increase their livestock's muscle mass and appetite so they could sell more meat and win show competitions. Performance enhancing drug for cow. That's crazy. Performance enhancing drug for cow? Are you kidding? That's insane. Talk about mad cow disease. Bazinga, I couldn't imagine injecting something meant for cows into my arm. That seems insane. Furthermore, the side effects and dangers of tren haven't been studied that well, as most of the case studies that we have available are from reports of testing the substance on animals and testing the substance on 23-year-old bodybuilders. Boom! Pec! My pec! No more breastfeed! Actually, that was a crass joke. There is an actual case of a 23-year-old bodybuilder. Let us examine it. This case report details the cardiovascular risks associated with anabolic steroid use, specifically focusing on a 23-year-old male bodybuilder who experienced a heart attack after chronic use of trenbolone acetate, the same age as the Tren twins, 23 years old. That's why I made the joke. The study also highlights how usage of tren can lead to other severe cardiovascular effects, including atherosclerosis, which is a disease that causes arteries to harden and narrow due to plaque buildup. It can also cause hypertension, you're familiar with that, and just general increased LDL cholesterol, which can contribute to coronary artery disease, just death. All right, it's bad for your heart, and those are bad effects, but those are only some of the many horrible side effects that the Tren twins seem to leave out of their videos. Imagine if they're like, hey, it can actually kill you. It can actually cause atherosclerosis. This is more dangerous than chunking down Big Macs every day. There are literally people who chunk down Big Macs every single day and drink Dr. Pepper who live to be 85 and smoke packs of cigarettes. There's not very many 85-year-old bodybuilders who abuse steroids, okay? Let's talk about some of the physical side effects, such as the effects on your skin. Your skin can become quite oily and cause massive acne breakouts. On steroids, everything in your body is at maximum production, including your sebaceous glands, resulting in acne, sweating. It's disgusting. Also, regular use of anabolic steroids accelerates male pattern baldness in people who are predisposed to going bald. So hopefully the Tren twins, which I can see their hairlines receding a little bit, but hopefully, you know, they got good genetics. They got them Italian genes, all right? And funnily enough, it does accelerate the growth of your body and facial hair. So these guys are haired up. All right. We can see this in the Tren twins. When they started, I don't think they even had the capability of growing beards. Now they can. So that's pretty cool. We also highlighted the damage that tren does to your heart. It also, guess what, damages your liver. A study conducted on the side effects of anabolic steroids on the liver showed that many users take high doses or combine steroids with other drugs, which can increase the risk of negative effects on the liver. And liver damage is a serious concern, with possible outcomes like liver enzyme elevation, liver disease, and tumors. All right, guys, when you with your liver does not get happy. Your liver is, it's to purify your blood, by the way, if you didn't know. And it's an incredibly important organ. And like, if you're doing stupid shit like this and you're damaging your liver, it's gonna be really hard for you to get on a transplant list where there are people who are genetically and they need livers just because they're unlucky, not because they're dumbasses. Anabolic steroids, including tren, can also damage your kidneys, including acute kidney injuries, chronic kidney disease, and kidney toxicity. The mechanism is that anabolic steroid usage triggers harmful processes in the body that your kidneys have to work overtime to make you not die. As you can see, many benefits come with taking tren, guys, especially if you are unaware and uneducated and you see the Tren twins and you're like, well, these guys are cool. I want to be like them when I grow up, when I turn 9. All right. Oh yeah. Also, how about the other side effects? There's a long list of hormonal and psychological side effects, such as mania and psychosis. Why would you do anything that causes psychosis? If it wasn't working out and there wasn't like a level of health to it, and it wasn't this kind of cool thing, I love it. I think the whole fitness thing is awesome. I think it's super important. If that was all gone, if the fitness, the competition, the health, the positive health aspects of fitness were gone, this is basically like people making a channel about smoking salvia. It's the same shit. It's like if you remove very specific things, it becomes something weird and bad. That seems obvious as to why it's weird and bad. And this is like vain and dumb. Anyways, not to mention if you want to have a family at some point, regular use of steroids causes your ball sack to get big and your balls to shrink, and can lead to infertility and a lack of natural testosterone. So take the L, bozo. That's embarrassing. I would never want to do that. And about the mania and psychosis, the roid rage moments are real on the Tren twins thing. That's an actual thing. It also causes significant anxiety and depression, which I didn't really know about until doing more research a couple years ago. There's a specific term called trinsomnia. A lot of people on tren experience insomnia. It's f***ing bad. It's really, really, really bad for you. You shouldn't do it, guys. You shouldn't do it. Anything that's that bad, you shouldn't do. If you watch my channel and you care about yourself, you shouldn't do it. All right. Plus early onset memory loss and smooth brain syndrome. It's just bad. A study titled Brain and Cognition Abnormalities in Long-Term Anabolic Androgenic Steroid Users found that steroid users had a larger right amygdala, which is the place in the brain where emotions are processed, and weaker connections between the amygdala and the brain areas related to memory and cognitive control. They also had changes in brain chemicals that might increase the risk of brain damage in general. Furthermore, steroid users did worse on memory tests, suggesting that long-term use could lead to cognitive problems and psychiatric issues. These are all very well-known symptoms of tren, and tren itself is, on the whole, an understudied substance that certainly teenagers should not be using or being influenced to use. The Tren twins have made their entire career based on the wacky antics surrounding their bodybuilding journey, with most of their fame coming from the Roid Rage segments. Bros have been advertising tren and steroid use to a very young and impressionable audience for a very long time. I want to know what you guys think. I feel like they're just kind of swept up into it. Maybe they're definitely not victims, they're dumb for sure, but like, is it really that bad? I don't know. Life's short anyways. I really don't know. I'm such a goober when it comes to this stuff, because like, I get it. If I was a parent, I would never want this to be a real thing. But like, as a young adult man, I'm like, all right, well, y'all just are stupid. You know, this is just dumb. I don't see why anyone would ever do that. But I totally get, like, if your just priorities are kind of weird and messed up and you just want to be strong and masculine and look good or something. I mean, maybe compete. I don't know. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I do feel like these guys are just stupid. What do y'all think? Comment down below. Anyways, thanks for watching. Press the like button. Go to sour.gg, buy some candy. Use code TREN with 2 N's. And also, go to the Gump Club, watch videos uncensored. I will see you all in the next one.